Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Have you ever experienced a connection so profound, so inexplicable, that it felt as though the entire universe was conspiring to bring you together? A bond so deep that every moment, every glance, every whispered word seemed to hum with the resonance of destiny. And yet, despite this magnetic pull, circumstances remained just beyond your grasp, out of your control, slipping through your fingers like grains of sand. What if I told you that this is no mere coincidence? Throughout our lives, we encounter souls who enter our orbit in two distinct ways. Some we chase, bending our will and efforts to keep them close, while others arrive unannounced, as if scripted into our story long before we took our first breath. These are the encounters written in the divine ink of Allah's decree, destinies woven into the fabric of time itself. When Allah, Tatai, ordains a union, no force in existence can thwart it, not oceans of distance, not mountains of obstacles, not the relentless march of time. But how do you discern whether someone is truly meant for you? What are the signs that this connection is part of a grander design, a chapter penned by the divine? Stay with me, for what you're about to hear may forever transform how you perceive love, loss, and the celestial orchestration of your life's journey. Part 1. The illusion of control versus the divine decree. We stride through life convinced of our autonomy, crafting plans, setting goals, and clinging to the belief that our efforts alone shape our future. We choose partners, envision shared tomorrows, and labor tirelessly to mold relationships into what we desire. But pause and reflect. How much control do we truly possess? Consider the wind. It sweeps across deserts and cities, unrestrained by human hands. Reflect on the sun. It rises and sets on a schedule no mortal can alter. Even your own heartbeat, a rhythm you neither command nor comprehend, flows effortlessly, guided by a force beyond your will. If we cannot govern these earthly phenomena, why do we arrogantly assume dominion over matters as profound as love and destiny? Allah, SWT, reminds us in Surah Al-Takwir, "But you cannot will, except by the will of Allah, Lord of the worlds." 81:29. Our desires, no matter how fervent, are but whispers in the grand symphony of His plan. Yet how often do we cling to relationships that strain against the tides of qadr? We exhaust ourselves trying to mend fractures, revive fading sparks, or convince someone to stay, blind to the truth that if they were meant for us, the path would unfold with effortless grace. When Allah, SWT, writes someone into your story, no human force can erase their name. Conversely, if a soul is not destined for you, no amount of pleading, manipulation, or sacrifice will anchor them in your life. Herein lies the test of faith. Releasing our grip on illusions of control and surrendering to the wisdom of Al-Qadir, the all-powerful. Every closed door, every heartache, every no from Allah is a mercy, a redirection toward what is truly yours. Our challenge is not to force destiny, but to trust it. Part 2. The Story of Musa, A.S. A Blueprint for Divine Appointments. Let me transport you to the sun-scorched dunes of Madian. Picture Musa, A.S., fleeing Egypt, a man stripped of status, haunted by fear, and utterly unaware that his greatest blessing lay just beyond the horizon. With blistered feet and a weary heart, he stumbled upon a well where shepherds watered their flocks. Among them stood two sisters, hesitant and marginalized, barred from accessing the water until the men departed. Musa, A.S., though a stranger in a foreign land, chose compassion. He drew water for their flocks, a simple act of kindness, untainted by expectation. Little did he know, this moment was no accident. It was a celestial pivot point, engineered by Allah to alter the trajectory of his life. The sister's father, impressed by Musa's integrity, offered him shelter and employment. In time, one of those women became his wife. Reflect on this. A man who believed himself lost and forsaken was, in truth, being guided step by step toward a divine appointment. The well, the sisters, the father, every detail was meticulously arranged by Allah to fulfill a promise Musa didn't even know existed. This is the essence of Qadr. When Allah SWT decrees a union, He orchestrates events beyond human comprehension, aligning timelines, softening hearts, and bending circumstances to His will. Musa didn't chase love. He walked the path of righteousness, and love found him. Part 3. The unmistakable signs of a divine connection. How do you recognize a soul written into your destiny? Allah, SWT, leaves clues, subtle yet profound, for those attuned to His signs. Sign 1. Barriers dissolve like mist in the sun. When a relationship is divinely ordained, obstacles crumble, distance narrows, misunderstandings resolve, and logistics align with surreal ease. Contrast this with unions we force, the constant struggle, the nagging doubts, the exhaustion of swimming against life's currents. A destined bond feels effortless, as though the universe itself conspires to bring you together. Sign 2. Peace anchors your soul. Allah, SWT, declares in Surah Ar-Ra'd, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." 13:28. A destined partner becomes a vessel of this tranquility. Their presence doesn't ignite chaos or anxiety. Instead, it whispers sakina, serenity, into your spirit. You feel seen, not scrutinized, cherished, not possessed. Sign 3. They elevate your connection to Allah. A true soulmate doesn't distract you from the divine. They draw you closer. They inspire you to pray with more devotion, forgive more readily, and live with integrity. Their love isn't a cage but a catalyst, propelling you toward the highest version of yourself. As the Prophet, Dawah, said, "The best among you are those who are best to their wives." Tirmidhi. If your partner embodies this excellence, cherish them as a gift from Ar-Rahman. Part 4. The Art of Surrender. When release becomes liberation. One of life's most agonizing trials is releasing someone we love. We cling, bargain, and weep, convinced that our tears can rewrite divine decree. But what if their absence is Allah's protection? What if the ache you feel is not a punishment, but a precursor to a greater joy? Allah SWT warns in Surah Al-Baqarah, "Perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows while you know not." 2216. That relationship you're mourning, what if it would have dimmed your light, distanced you from Deen, or anchored you to a life of quiet despair? Trust that Allah, the all-knowing, sees the end from the beginning. Surrender is not defeat, it's faith in motion. It's whispering, "Ya Allah, I wanted them, but you know better. Replace my longing with what you've chosen for me." Part 5. The dua that unlocks divine clarity. When uncertainty clouds your heart, turn to the one who holds all answers. Recite this prayer with raw sincerity. "Ya Allah, if this person is good for my faith, my life, and my hereafter, bring them closer. And if they are a trial, a distraction, or a harm, remove them from my path. Replace them with what is better in this world and the next. Then release the outcome. If they depart, let them go without resentment. If they return, welcome them with gratitude. But in all cases, trust that Allah's answer, whether yes, no, or wait, is the key to your ultimate happiness."